Ram Kabir. Today I have the honor of introducing someone who I've seen grown up before my eyes and who has reached tremendous success. At the young age of 19, who I know will go on to achieve and accomplish many things and inspire many in the future years to come. That, everyone, is Saajan Bhakta from Wichita, Kansas. Saajan is a youth activist, author, philanthropist, and public speaker. He has been honored by President Barack Obama and celebrities such as Eli Manning and the cast of Glee. In 2013, Saajan was named a member of the top 30 most influential, powerful, inspirational youth around the world. He has also been featured in the New York Times, Reuters, and other large media outlets. He has also been nominated in the last 2 years for the CNN Hero Award. Saajan's motivation and drive started at the age of 8 during his trip to India. After witnessing an impoverished woman and her small child knocking on his car window, that is when he decided he wanted to better the lives of others, especially the less fortunate. In 2010, Saajan founded his own nonprofit organization, POV-SOLVE. POV-SOLVE works on the local, national, and international scale to meet the basic human needs of those living in poverty. It focuses on food, water, education, healthcare, and shelter. POV-SOLVE has raised over $50,000, impacting over 5,000 lives, and has spread over 500 people to aid the cause. Today, POV-SOLVE has fed thousands of hungry people in slums around the world, provided life necessities to hundreds living in poverty in third world countries, and has built a school in rural Zambia, Africa. Currently today, Saajan is a White House staff member in the Office of Faith-Based Partnership and Community Initiatives, working on national programming for combating human trafficking and domestic violence for the Obama administration. He also will be releasing his first book in February of 2014. The book is an inspirational book on making a difference in the world that we live in. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Saajan Bhakta.
Ram Kabir, good evening. How is everyone doing? Good. Well, first of all, I want to tell you all how honored and excited I am to be giving this keynote address to all of you. I hope you leave today feeling a little more empowered, inspired, and feeling changed. I want you to wake up tomorrow morning feeling as a different person than you are today. I want you to leave because I want you to be empowered and a new person. So as Sweta had mentioned, I currently am most recently a White House staff member in the Office of Faith-Based Partnerships and Community Initiatives, working on something that I'm very passionate about. I was appointed to this position just recently in September, and so I have been there for training and conferences in September and working on individual projects now. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about rethinking who you are as a person. As rethinking what legacy you want to leave in this world when you are no longer here. And I think in order to do that, the first thing you have to do is find a passion. You can't just walk along through life without caring about anything. There are people dying in other countries, and tonight we will go home and sleep in our comfortable beds. That is my passion. That is the legacy I will leave in this world, and I encourage all of you, whether you're 8 years old, you're 60 years old, it's never too late. And I think that in order to find a passion, you have to realize that life is more than work. Life is more than school. Life is more than meeting the expectations that other people have for you. Life is about discovering who you are. And by discovering who you are, you can help other people discover who they are. And so, my passion, I had mentioned we had gone to India numerous times. We all go to India. We see it. People living in blue tarp houses, no clothes, no shoes. And if we don't start somewhere, if we all come back from India and we just say, it's so sad, people are dying there, but I'm just going to come here and maybe cook some darba and eat and throw half of it away because I cooked too much. But the reality is we cannot be doing this. We have to come back to the United States as established people, as driven, motivated, and ambitious people. We have to decide that we are going to make the change. We aren't going to wait for somebody else to do it, because nobody else will unless you start with yourself. So, finding a passion. Learning that life is more than you. We're all caught up in our own selves. Oh no, I got to take the kids to soccer. Bria has to go to dance practice, whatever it may be. But what it comes down to is we must look beyond ourselves. That is what life is about. It's about just meeting new people, getting to know them, connecting, networking, working together. The school that I have built in Africa, I didn't do it alone. I worked with 3 other people from Canada, New York City, and someone who lives in Africa. I couldn't do it alone. And those connections were because I saw beyond myself. I saw a problem, and I wasn't just going to let that problem exist. That's not who I was. And I encourage all of you to feel empowered and motivated as well. When you leave this world, people are not going to remember how much money was in your bank account, how much your home loan was worth, how much you bought your car for. They're not going to know. But what they are going to remember is what mark you left in this world. How many lives you changed. How many people you made happy. What problems you worked to solve. I can't wake up tomorrow morning and solve world poverty. You can't wake up tomorrow morning and solve global hunger. But we can all wake up tomorrow morning and start taking smaller steps, working together, being passionate, being focused, being driven to make these problems go away. For the younger crowd, you have to kind of know, and even for our older folks, who you are today and who you want to be. They're 2 very different things. Who you are is what other people see in you, how you define yourself. My favorite color is red. That's who I am. But who do I want to be? And life is about getting from who you are to who you want to be. And doing nothing is not going to get you there. So I think it's time for us to join together, work together, to help each and every individual become who they want to be. Because life is short. Life could end tomorrow. It could end tonight. We don't know. And I think we need to remember that. That's very important. That is incredibly important. There are people in other countries, as I mentioned, who don't know if their child will be alive tonight because they didn't have the money to feed them. There are people who are facing incredible problems. And who you want to be should involve those people, because life is short and you should make the greatest impact that you possibly can. I walked in here, I mean, no offense to the Bhakta Samaj, but there was a lot of tension, a lot of issues that needed to be resolved. And I think that something that would help us in that is letting go of all the baggage. Just let it go. Love people or learn to love them. Because humans need love, and we can't all walk around this planet, oh, she's bad because she does this. He's bad because he does this. Just forget it. Appreciate people for who they are. Respect them. You might dislike someone, yes. We can all dislike people. But we do not have the right to ever disrespect anyone. We are all human beings. We are all on the same team. We might have different visions, you might have different goals, but we all work together to create a brighter future. A brighter future for these young kids sitting right in front of me. Do we want them to grow up in a world that we would never want to live in? And the answer is no. So now the question is, well, what are we going to do to make sure they don't live in the world that we do not want them to live in? So one thing that I am very passionate about is planning. But what I've learned through my experiences through my nonprofit, through other nonprofits that I've worked with, is planning, but not planning. So, you have to be resilient. Life happens, we all know that. Things happen, problems occur, but it's not about the obstacle. It's about how you overcome the obstacle that defines who you are. Personally, I've been through many obstacles that many people do not know of. And those are the things that shape me into the person that I am today. We all have obstacles, whether that be from the car not starting, to losing a child, to going through a divorce, whatever it may be. But we have a choice. We have a choice to say, okay, this is what happened. I can't control what happened to me, but I can control how I'm going to react. And how you react is what defines you. It's what shapes you. So the next time you have an obstacle, a problem, I encourage you to just take a step back. Tell yourself, I had no control over this, but here's how I'm going to react. I'm going to let it make me a stronger, better person. If it involves people, I'm not going to disrespect them. Yes, I may dislike them, but I'm never going to disrespect them. That's how we must move forward in order to create positive, innovative change in the world that we live in. Never let the fear of not knowing stop you. I've been through many things that, building a school in Africa, kind of scary. Lots of money, lots of donors, lots of people who I'm responsible to. Had I ever done it before? No. But did I let the fear of that stop me? I guarantee you, if I ask you all, how many of you would want to build a hospital in India to help dying babies? I would assume that each and every one of you would raise your hands. But why aren't you? That's the question. What is stopping you? And if it's the fear that you're not going to succeed, you need to let that go. You need to take advantage of all of the resources around you. Connect with like-minded people. Make things happen. People are never going to remember what you could have done in your life. What they're going to remember is what you did do with your life. I could tell you, I have a friend, Adam, he wants to build an orphanage in Mexico. Great, great, Adam. 10 years from now, if he never did it, is that important? So you must always act on what you want to accomplish and never let the fear of not knowing stop you. The best thing that can happen is you're going to learn along the way. I learned so many things from building this school in Africa that now I'm more prepared to build the hospital in India next year. But if I would have never done that school in Africa, would I have ever learned what's going to help me along the way? Sure, Google might help me, what's some tips and tricks for doing this, but experience trumps all. It really does. So always keep that in mind. Take calculated risks. Keep life fun. Try new things. I think a lot of times we find ourselves caught in this rut of our daily activities. Okay, I wake up, drop the kids off at school, go to work, come home, eat, put the kids to sleep, whatever it may be, do homework. Well, if I asked you if that's how you wanted to spend the last day of your life, you probably wouldn't want to be caught in that rut. You would want to spend the last day of your life doing something that you absolutely enjoy. And that is the issue. Do not wait until you're dying to start living. I actually heard that quote. I got to travel to speak with a cancer research group at the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of America, and one of the researchers came up to me and he's like, we're in these hospitals, we see these kids. They know that they have 3 or 4 months left to live. Their parents know that. Yeah, they're going to send them to Disney World, they're going to do fun things, but in reality we should all live like them. We should all live each day as if it were our last, doing things we enjoy. Take time out of the day to go with your kids to the park to take a walk. Do more than just ask, hey, what'd you learn at school today? Oh, nothing. Okay, that's the end of it. And as parents, that is where you come in. You must not only advise, guide, set expectations for your children. You have to live what you're preaching. You have to lead by example. If you want your child to be great reader, you want them to be an excellent speller, you want them to volunteer in the community, you want them to be a poster child, but you sit at home and on Facebook 24/7, what are they going to learn? So that is my challenge for all of you. It's lead by example. Act in a way that you would want your kids to act. Raise them in a way where you feel comfortable with who they are, where they feel comfortable coming to you if they have an issue, where there's an open line of communication. Life isn't going to go according to plan, and this isn't rocket science, we all know it. This one is one of my favorite things to talk about. As I mentioned earlier, you must feel like you can in order to accomplish it. If you tell yourself, oh, there's no way I'm going to do this, are you ever going to do this? But if you say, you know, this is going to be difficult, this is going to be a challenge, but I'm going to try my best to do it, you're going to do it. And either you're going to succeed or you're going to learn from your mistakes. So I want you guys to all feel like you can, because there are people on the other side of the world who would do anything to be where you are sitting today. They would do anything to be here. There are people who are going to die, like I said, of cancer tonight. There are people who are dying of hunger in third world countries. There's numerous reasons why somebody's life is going to end today, and they never got to make the impact that they wanted because they never had the adequate resources. Well, here we are, we have the adequate resources, and we're doing nothing. To me, that doesn't make too much sense. And I think it's time that we all change this. And change starts from within. Change starts from within. I think we sometimes take for granted how lucky we are. And I think we must take a step back. I don't mean to overstress this point, but it is incredibly important. We need to be grateful for what we're given. We need to learn from what we don't have and work hard to acquire what we want in our life. Time is fleeting. Tomorrow's too late. Tomorrow morning, you have a chance to wake up. You're blessed to be waking up, by the way. And you have a choice. You're going to make the choice of waking up in the morning and living your life like you've lived it for the past, in my case, 19 years. That's probably not a good example. So you have the choice to wake up tomorrow morning and live, you know, in your lifestyle of your schedule. You're waking up, work, drop the kids off, whatever you may be doing. Or you have the choice to be someone new. You have the privilege to be somebody new. There's nobody stopping you from saying that you can't do it, except yourself. I get to travel, and I hear people all the time come up to me in the Q&A and say, you know, I've always thought about volunteering at the Humane Society, but I just don't have time. I've always thought about, you know, buying Christmas gifts for the charity that donates them to the kids in hospital, but I just never have time. I'm so busy with work and so busy with kids. Well, you know what? Those kids aren't there the next day. Time is fleeting. It's not endless. We're on a clock. That clock is always ticking. And we have to remember this. Because that's the unfortunate reality. That's how the world operates. And we need to rise to the occasion. We can't wait for the world to come down to our level. We can't hope that issues like poverty and not having a cure for cancer are just going to magically happen. And it takes people like you. As a CEO of a nonprofit, I know that what I do wouldn't be possible without my volunteers. Without those 500 volunteers, I would just be sitting there running the show. But who's going to carry it out for me? Who am I going to take with me when I go to the streets in Wichita and meet with the homeless people, give them food, give them blankets? Who's going to be there? When would I ever get through all of that? So we should never forget the importance of one person. And that's what I always like to say. There will be people that tell you no. There were people that told me no and still tell me no. And as a matter of fact, someone yesterday just, I asked for feedback on my book because it's launching in February, and they said, oh no, there's no way you're getting this published. And I said, watch me. There's going to be people that tell you no, and you must overlook them. First, you must see why they're saying no. And if they're saying no because genuinely there is something that might stop you, there might be an obstacle, take that into account. Don't ignore it. I'm not saying, oh, Stacy told me no, so I'm not doing this. Bob said I can't build a school, so I can't do it. Not happening. But if they're just saying no because they're jealous, because they feel lower than you, like, oh, if you do that, I'm going to look bad. You're going to get a job. You're going to have more scholarships than me. In life, you'll either earn two things from people. You'll earn their respect, or you'll earn their jealousy. And I've learned that the people who give you the respect are the ones you need in your life, and the ones that give you the jealousy are the ones you don't need in your life. So that's something important to remember. Someday is not a day of the week. Like I said, we can't say, you know, someday I'm going to do this, or someday I'm going to do that. Or one day when I have time, I'll do this. That's not a day of the week. You need to set deadlines. By December, I want to do this, this, and this. And here's how I'm going to do it. Set goals. Set achievable benchmarks. We're all successful people in here. Some, you know, lawyers, doctors, motel owners, whatever it may be. We're financially stable. We're successful. But are we significant? You could be successful all day long. You could drive around in a BMW. You could have a $4 million house. You could have all of these things. Yeah, you're successful. You worked hard. You went to college. You have a good job. But are you significant? Going back to my point before, people aren't going to remember all of the small numbers that you think are important right now. They're going to remember how you were significant, how you moved forward from where you were, how you got to where you were, whether you were handed everything and you built on that, or you worked your way you worked up from the very bottom. You control your future. You do. You have what it takes to say yes. You have what it says to say no. You have choices. And these choices come with consequences. So just a few things that I like to live by that I would like to share with you is stop asking why and start asking why not. Learn about yourself. Explore the world. See what it has to offer and see what you have to offer it. Say yes. Say yes. Try new things. Do things that are out of your comfort zone. Embrace awkward. Embrace awkward. It's going to get awkward sometimes. Embrace it. Learn from it. Think different. Think beyond what other people think. Don't follow the path. Create your own. Part off. Do things that others aren't. That is what's going to help make you transition from success to significance. Is doing something that nobody has ever done. Is leaving a mark on this world that's more than a life story. It's leaving a life legacy. At your funeral, when someone is reading your eulogy, you don't want them to say, so-and-so was born on this date in this city, passed away here and here, was the daughter of so-and-so. You want them to say, this person changed this world. You want them to be able to say, this person changed this many people's lives. This person created a tremendous mark, saw beyond themselves. They didn't find time when it was convenient for them to do great things. They made the time to do great things. Fail beautifully. You're not going to succeed every single time. But fail beautifully. Fail confidently. Do not let your failures steer you away. Let them make you want to go further. Let them want to make you try harder the next time. Let your failures shape you, define you into a confident, ambitious, driven, motivated person. Things happen. Life happens. You're not going to win every time. Life's not going to go according to plan, like I said earlier. But it's about how you react when these failures occur. You have a choice. You're going to say, oh, man, I failed. I'm the worst person alive. Why did I even try? It's not like I had time anyway. Screw this. I'm never trying this again. Or you can say, this is why I failed. Remember why you started trying in the first place. Look at what you can do better and try again. Try again with double emphasis. Work twice as hard. Because the true reason is, if you are passionate about why you were doing something in the first place, you're going to be 10 times as excited and enthusiastic to try a second time. Because you're passionate about it. Finding what you're passionate about defines you. Life is more than just a journey. Life is more than just high school graduation, college graduation, job, master's degree maybe, promotion. Life is more than these things. We are so caught up that that's what life is about. Granted, those are elements of life, but it's time we see beyond ourselves. You know, we all have hard in our lives. She might have hard yesterday. You might have failed your test 3 days ago. Your car might have broke down. But the truth is, we cannot compare my hard to your hard. Hard is hard. There will be hard in your life. There will be hard in your life. And we cannot sit there and say, well, her hard is not harder as mine because I had to go through this, this, and this. No. People are more than their problems. Who a person is shaped by their past. You might not know their whole past. And that is one of our biggest problems, is comparing hard to hard. Feeling better or feeling worse about our hard. That kind of goes back to, never disrespecting, and you never know what somebody's going through. So always be conscious about this. Some very successful people that I know, when I was in DC just a few weeks ago, I was passing by Vice President Biden's office, and the intern was walking out, and she was crying. And I said, oh, okay, what's going on? Why are you crying, And the truth is, she said she had been strong for so long that she just broke down. But everybody thought she was successful. She had it in the box. She was valedictorian. She had everything. Granted, she did. But there were battles that nobody knew about that she was facing. And that was her hard. If you asked me to compare, if I were to compare, I would say, wow, so-and-so's life is so much harder than hers. Look how easy she has it. She's working in the White House. She has a degree, whatever it may be, but her hard was equally as hard as anybody else's. So always remember that. Never compare your hard to anybody else's hard. We work together to find a solution, how to convert that hard into something worth remembering. Happy, positive, and moving forward from that hard. Especially with how we move forward, a lot of people have expectations of who we should be. People, I feel like there's a huge conforming problem. People feel obligated to conform to fit in. And the truth is, you don't need to conform. Why conform? If you died tomorrow, would you feel comfortable knowing you were somebody that you were not the day before? Is it really worth living your life to meet the expectations of other people, the expectations that they set upon you, just so you can fit in? At the end of the day, whose life is it? Who is living that life? Who's going to sleep in that life that night? You. Those other people that set those expectations for you aren't there. They don't know what you're battling. They don't know your heart. But all they know is if you aren't like us, you're not in the group. And I think that goes back to being different. Think different, be different, act different. Be different, think different, act different. And until you start doing those three things, you're not going to be able to transition from success to significance. Why? Because everyone in the successful population thinks the same. They're driven by something, whether that be by money, by whatever it may be. They act the same. They act upon, that driving factor. And you must be different. You may want to be successful. You may want to make $150,000 someday. Get a promotion, whatever it may be. But then step over the line and say, well, here's how I'm going to use that promotion, what I gained from that, from my personal success, to give back to the world. I'm going to rise to the occasion. I'm going to meet to what this world needs. The less you worry about people, the happier you'll be. It's true. High school, I felt like I needed to fit in. I went through the whole 4 bits growing up in Wichita. If you didn't go to volleyball on Sunday, what the hell were you doing? Well, you know what? I didn't go to volleyball every Sunday. Why? Because it's not what I wanted to do. It's not what made me happy. If I died on Monday, why the heck would I want to have spent my Sunday playing volleyball? People had a hard time with this. Hey, why don't you come to volleyball anymore? What's your deal? Well, the truth is, that's not who I am. And I'm not going to be anybody for anybody other than me. I'm going to do what makes me happy. I'm going to do what I want because it's my life, not yours. If I tell you to come, I don't know, paint a picture with me and you don't like painting, why would you come paint a picture with me? So always remember that. You never have to do something to make someone else happy. You need to do it to make yourself happy. You need to be who you are because that's what makes you happy at the end of the day. You could be the happiest person on the outside. Everyone thinks you're a great, happy person. You have a family, you're set. But in the inside, you're like, why am I doing this? And if you ever have to step back and think, wow, why am I doing that? You need to step back and start all over. Because you were not passionate about it. What's life without passion? It's a life story, not a life legacy. Legacy involves passion. Legacy involves seeing beyond yourself. So tomorrow, when you wake up and you go into the bathroom to brush your teeth, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror for a good 30 seconds. Just look at yourself. Look at yourself and see if you are happy with the person you have become. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what are the struggles I've overcome? How have they shaped me? And am I genuinely happy? Am I going to live this day passionately? Or am I just going to go through this day like it's another day? And if you're not happy, here's the next step. You tell yourself, you make a promise to yourself that you are going to change it. Why? Because nobody else can change how you feel except yourself. And just to kind of wrap it up, keep on keeping on. I know we're kind of tight on time, so keep on keeping on. Somewhere in the world, a parent is going to lose a child tonight. Somewhere in the world, a child is going to lose a parent tonight. They're going to keep on keeping on because life requires them to keep on keeping on. Life doesn't wait for anyone. Let go of anything that no longer serves you. Let go of anything that no longer serves you as a person. That no longer aligns with who you want to be with your life. That no longer aligns with who you are inside. Embrace what betters you. Build on your successes to become significant. See your self-worth. You are a human being. You are alive. The bottom line is you are lucky. You can keep on walking through life thinking, oh, I'm so lucky, I'm so blessed. Or you can say, I'm so lucky and I'm so blessed, and here's what I'm going to do to take advantage of being alive. That is when you will start living. Do what you love each and every day. Not just Sundays, not just Saturdays, but each and every day. Do what you love. Do what makes you happy. Wake up with a smile. Why? Because life is short. Look yourself in the mirror every morning. Tell yourself it's going to be a great day. Why? Because I'm going to make it a great day. I'm not going to wait on the world to give me the perfect day. I'm going to create the perfect day because I am alive and I have the power to do that. Just to live, and that's it. Guys, that's truly it. If you walk away from this just remembering one thing, it's just take time to live. Step back. Be yourself and just live the life you've always dreamed of living. Because tomorrow's too late. Start today. Turn your words into actions. Become successful, then become significant. Change the world. Become a better person. So with that, I hope you all walk away today gaining just a little bit more insight about the power of you. Do something in this world, but more importantly, be something. Be someone. Leave a legacy in this world that your kids will be proud of, that your grandkids will be proud of, and that your parents will be proud of. Thank you so much.